everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Bold and the Beautiful recap is finally in for Wednesday, July 30, 2025. In today's episode, Sheila Carter-Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, issues a plea to Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda. Speaking of the deceptive doctor, she takes care of an unconscious Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada. Plus, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, has a crisis in Italy. Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., drives a speedboat while Brooke sits in the passenger seat. They talk while riding, but none of it is audible. At one point, Brooke takes her hand and caresses Ridge's arm. They go through a narrow, arched rock structure with the boat, which seems like an amazing view. They finally dock as Eric Forrester, John McCook, and Luisa Becerra greet them. They all file inside to get ready for the fashion show. Eric takes Ridge aside and urges him to reconcile with Brooke. Ridge approaches Brooke and declares he knows Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, is in Naples. Brooke comments that at least Nick tries. Ridge complains about Nick, and then the fashion show starts. Brooke parades around and looks incredible. Everyone applauds and the press wants more photos and answers to questions. One photographer says there are never enough bridge pictures. Ridge reluctantly puts his arm around Brooke for more photos. A reporter asks about Ridge's engagement to Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. Before Ridge can answer, Eric redirects the conversation. Suddenly, Brooke says that's enough and runs off. Ridge runs after her. Ridge tries to make Brooke feel better, but it's not working. With tears in her eyes, Brooke explains that she can't do this anymore. 1 minute they're on, 1 minute they're off. She calls him out for ripping out her heart and stomping on it over and over again. She wants to leave, but Ridge says no. At the harbor, Nick needs the boat to be finished. He needs to get to Capri. Nick ends up getting a ride and arrives at the show. However, Eric tells Nick he's not welcome there. At Il Giardino, Deacon Sharp, scene canon, notices Sheila seems off. The waitress admits she misses Luna. She has a right to know where her granddaughter is, but Lai won't respond to her messages. Sheila needs to say a final goodbye. Lai suddenly turns up at the restaurant. She's picking up takeout and doesn't have time to talk. Sheila begs her to let her know where Luna's body is so she can say goodbye. "What did you do with my granddaughter?" Over in Lee's secret suite, she promises not to let Luna die. The doctor injects something into the patient's IV. Los Angeles never sleeps, not when secrets unravel and stakes rise in the most unexpected corners of lives intertwined by fashion, power, and passion. The Wednesday, July 30th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful was a roller coaster of emotion, teetering between desperate pleas, ghostly returns, and an Italian tragedy that sent Brooke Logan into a full-blown crisis. Sheila was down, but not out. Lai took on a case that hit dangerously close to home, and Brooke's latest Italian detour turned into her worst nightmare. Let's dive deep. Scene 1. Sheila's desperation in the dark. The episode opens in the dim, clinical light of the prison visitation room. Sheila Carter, disheveled but unmistakably defiant, sits across from Deacon Sharp, her former flame and forever accomplice in chaos. There's a desperation in Sheila's eyes not seen in weeks, the desperation of a mother about to lose the last link to her humanity. "Sheila, they're turning him against me, Deacon. Finn, my boy, he's slipping away." Steffi's poison runs deep. Deacon, ever torn between loyalty and self-preservation, urges Sheila to be patient. But patience has never been Sheila's strong suit. She slams her fist against the table, shocking even the guard in the corner. "Sheila, if I lose Finn, I lose everything. I need you to talk to him. Make him see I've changed." Deacon scoffs. "You shot your own son," he reminds her, as if that sin could ever be erased. But Sheila's not listening. She's pleading now, tears brimming. "Sheila, please, Deacon. I'm not asking as your ex, I'm begging as a mother." He doesn't answer right away. He just stares at her, a flicker of doubt dancing behind his eyes. He's seen Sheila manipulate the world. But was this real? Scene 2. Leigh's haunted patient. Meanwhile, at University Hospital, Dr. Lee Finnegan is shaken by the unexpected arrival of a new patient. A Jane Doe, badly beaten, with minimal ID and no memory. But it's not just the injuries that disturb Leigh, it's the strange familiarity in the woman's eyes. Leigh, to nurse. Get me her labs and CT scan stat. And alert psych, there's trauma here, deep trauma. As Leigh examines the woman, a chill runs down her spine. The woman stirs slightly, whispering something barely audible. Jane Doe, don't let him find me. The voice is soft, terrified, but unmistakably tinged with recognition. Leigh freezes. It's not possible. Could this be? In a flashback montage, we see Leigh remembering a patient from years ago. A woman caught in an abusive relationship, one who disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Leigh had treated her once. Could she have resurfaced now, coincidentally, at this point in her life? Scene 3. Brooke's Italian breakdown. Cut to Lake Como, Italy, where Brooke Logan is unraveling by the minute. What began as a romantic escape with Ridge has turned into a solo emotional minefield. Ridge is gone, called back suddenly by a crisis at Forrester. And Brooke is left alone with a letter that changes everything. She stands on a windswept balcony of the villa, rereading the letter in her trembling hands. The words are sharp, brutal, from Hope, in voiceover. I need space from you, Mom. From all of it, the drama, the control, the history. Please don't come back until you've figured out who you are without Ridge. Brooke collapses onto the sunbed, sobbing. Alone. Abandoned not just by Ridge but by her daughter too. She flashes back to a time when she and Hope were inseparable, leaning on each other through storm after storm. Now, she's the storm they're all trying to escape. Brooke, maybe I am the problem. A knock at the door interrupts her spiraling. It's Nick Marone, of all people, wearing sunglasses, linen, and that smug grin that used to both irritate and excite her. Nick, didn't think I'd find you like this. Italy used to be your playground, Logan. Brooke scoffs. What do you want? Nick's face softens. To make sure you're still breathing. And for once, Brooke doesn't argue. Scene 4. Deacon's Dilemma. Back in LA, Deacon returns to Il Giardino and paces near the brick oven like a man tormented. Sheila's pleas echo in his mind, colliding with memories of the pain she caused. Finn, Steffi, even Hope. He pours himself a drink, barely noticing when Hollis enters. Hollis, you okay, boss? Deacon doesn't answer. Instead, he walks to the back office, pulls out his phone, and stares at Finn's contact. His thumb hovers, then taps. Voicemail. This is Dr. John Finnegan. Leave a message. Deacon exhales. Then, hey Finn, it's Deacon. Look, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I think you need to hear what your mother said today. Call me back. He hangs up. The damage may already be done. Scene 5. Steffi's guard goes up. At the Cliff House, Steffi is on high alert. She's heard from security that Sheila's been in contact with someone, but who? And why? Finn tries to calm her, but the friction is undeniable. Steffi, you said you cut ties with her. That she was out of your life. Finn, she is. But that doesn't stop her from trying. Steffi, trying is exactly how she gets in. She chips, and eventually, Finn. I'm not letting her in, Steffi. I swear. But Steffi's not convinced. She remembers too well the terror of their wedding day, the blood in the water, the gunshots. She's not just protecting herself. She's protecting their kids. She hands him a printed image from a security cam. Deacon leaving the prison that day. Steffi, then explain this. Finn looks stunned and speechless. Scene 6. Lee's secret recognition. Back at the hospital, Lee finishes examining the Jane Doe and sits alone in her office, staring at an old case file. It's her. She's sure of it now. The woman's name was Elena Martins, a nurse who vanished 5 years ago after an abusive partner stalked her. Lie, whispering. Elena, what happened to you? A nurse interrupts. Elena's awake and asking for Lie. Lie rushes in, and the patient looks up with dazed but familiar eyes. Elena, you saved me before. Lie takes her hand gently. I'm going to save you again. But just as Lie says that, a message comes through her tablet. An alert from law enforcement. Missing persons alert updated. Elena Martins now presumed dead. Lee's eyes widen. Someone's trying to bury this woman again. Scene 7. Brooke and Nick's unfinished business. Back in Italy, Brooke and Nick sit by the lake, sipping wine under the gray sky. The tension between them is thick with old memories, betrayals, regrets, and the brief, burning affair that once rocked the Forrester world. Brooke, don't pretend you just came here for me. What are you really doing in Italy? Nick shrugs. You think you're the only one with ghosts to chase. They laugh. And for a moment, the darkness lifts. Brooke smiles, really smiles, for the first time in days. Nick, you don't have to keep breaking just because people expect you to. Come back with me. Not to Ridge. Not to Lay. Come back to you. Brooke looks at him, unsure if he's being romantic or realistic. But the thought lingers. Brooke, softly. Maybe I've been running from myself longer than I've been chasing Ridge. Scene 8. Finn confronts Deacon. As the episode nears its end, Finn storms into Il Giardino and corners Deacon, rage burning in his eyes. Finn, you went to see her. Again. Why? Deacon raises his hands. Because she's your mother, and she's desperate. Finn, desperate gets people killed. Deacon, she begged me to get a message to you. She's terrified she's losing you for good. Finn, she should. There's a pause. Then Deacon steps closer. Deacon, I'm not defending her. I'm telling you she's slipping, fast, and if she breaks completely, she won't just disappear. She'll explode. You need to be ready. Finn doesn't reply, but his silence speaks volumes. Final scene. Brooke's phone call. The final scene brings us back to Brooke in Italy, who sits alone now as Nick departs. She picks up her phone and hesitates, then dials. Hope, answering. Hello? Brooke breathes deeply. Brooke, you're right. About everything. I'm not coming home, not yet. Hope, coldly. Then don't expect me to wait for you to figure it out. The line goes dead. Brooke stares out at the lake, tearful but resolute. Brooke whispers. Then maybe it's time I stop waiting for everyone else too. Closing thoughts. This episode of The Bold and the Beautiful was a masterclass in emotional chaos. Sheila Carter's desperation continued to spiral, while Finn found himself once again between a mother he fears and a wife he's trying to protect. Lee's new patient may carry dangerous consequences for more than just her. Meanwhile, Brooke's solo soul-searching in Italy turned into an existential unraveling, only slightly soothed by the unexpected reappearance of Nick Marone. As the dust settles and secrets mount, one question echoes loudest. Who will break first? And who will rise stronger? Steffi takes drastic action to protect her family. Elena's past threatens to destroy Lee's career. Ridge returns from Italy to a bombshell, and Sheila? She's not done begging, she's about to start blackmailing. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bolded and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.